On April 9th, April 10th, and April 11th of 2024, a widespread disastrous tornado outbreak occurred across the southern and southeastern United States. In this video, we are going to be breaking down all the significant tornadoes, damaging wind gusts, and large hail that occurred in this catastrophic event. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, we're going to be talking about the dangerous Port Arthur, Texas EF2 tornado. This was a high-end EF2 tornado that caused significant damage to portions of Port Arthur and destroyed nearly every building in the town. This was obviously a disastrous event in this area. Luckily, no injuries or deaths have been reported from this tornado so far, but this was definitely one of our strongest of the event, and this was one of the first ones too, okay? This was on April 9th in the early morning hours. Not many people were expecting this tornado, and unfortunately, nobody knew that their entire world would be flipped around on this day in Port Arthur. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Lake Charles tornado. Right now, while this was not the strongest of the event, this did go through a very populated area, that being Lake Charles, Louisiana. This was a low-end EF2 tornado that caused significant damage to the city of Lake Charles and unfortunately also caused 2 injuries, which is obviously gut-wrenching to see, alright? Now, Texas and Louisiana were not the only states that got hit hard. Next up, we are going to be talking about the biggest tornado of the event, that of which being the Slidell, Louisiana tornado. This was a high-end EF2 tornado that caused several injuries across southern Slidell that did also, unfortunately, do massive damage to buildings, vehicles, trees, everything in sight, alright? It was destroying. This tornado was actually PDS, and it definitely deserved it. Like I said, we don't know the exact extent of the damage from this tornado quite yet, but we already do have several injuries reported. This was a disastrous event, and possibly the strongest tornado of this major outbreak. Once again, very bad situation there in Slidell, Louisiana. Now, there were actually several more tornadoes that did occur in this event, but if I went over all 19 of these tornadoes, this video would be super long, and I did try to pick out the most significant ones. Again, we don't know exactly which ones are the strongest yet because some damage reports are still coming in, but I think I did a pretty good survey overall of all the confirmed EF2s that we have this far. So what you're looking at here is the SPC Storm Reports for April 9th, alright? This was pretty significant, alright? We're going to ignore the tornado reports for the most part because we've already talked about the tornadoes, but we had 118 reports of wind gusts of at least 60 miles per hour or higher, and 3 damaging wind reports of wind gusts of 75 miles per hour or higher. We had 85 reports of hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger, and 22 reports of hail of 2 inches in diameter or larger. So going through the hail reports first, right? We had several reports of hail of 2 to 2.5 inches across portions of Texas, but it gets worse. Across portions of Burnett County, we did get hail up to 4 inches in diameter, which is softball-sized hail, and this is a very populated area that got that too, which is not good. But it gets even worse. We get reports of hail here from Burnett County that there was some hail that was larger than softball size, so at least 4.25 inches in diameter, and that's where it becomes life-threatening hail, because legitimately, whenever it falls out of the sky, it can fall about up to 200 miles per hour, and if that falls on your home, that is going to crash into your home with all of its force and probably do quite a bit of significant damage, alright? So, obviously very devastating to see that. Several more 2-inch plus hail reports here, lots of baseball-size reports. Those are your 2.75-inch hail reports. But those are all the hail reports, alright? Some significant, some of them, just your average hail. The damaging wind reports, though, are very interesting. We start off by saying already we do have some reports of 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts from portions of Briscoe County, Texas. An 88 mile per hour wind gust was recorded there in Capric Canyon State P. I'm guessing that's going to say State Park, but there just was not enough room. So 88 mile per hour wind gust there. We got a 78 mile per hour wind gust just outside of Knox City, Texas. We had several reports of major damage. We have trees down, power lines down, tons of roof damage. We got trees snapped onto the campus college, alright, in several spots. We got power lines down, gas station awnings blown off in portions of Louisiana. obviously very gut-wrenching to see whenever you have over 100 different instances of this happening. 70-mile-per-hour gust in Holland, trees and power lines down in Sabine County, Louisiana, multiple trees down and roof damage, power line down blocking Highway 51, trees and power lines down, trees uprooted, power lines down, awnings of gas stations blown off, as we saw earlier. Very significant damage, all right? Very significant, and unfortunately, it gets worse. We scroll down here and we see there was a wind gust that did some major damage here to a mobile home and trees here in portions of Scott County, Mississippi, that unfortunately did injure 2 people. Mobile homes rolled from these damaging wind gusts. That's why we say mobile homes are never a good place to be during a damaging wind or tornado event like this. It's better to be in a ditch than a mobile home, all right? Because if you're in a ditch, the winds usually do not reach quite far down enough to get to you, as at least the most intense part. But if you're in a mobile home like this, it is going to get ripped apart by these kinds of winds, as you can see by those 2 unfortunate injuries there, all right? So we keep scrolling, several more unfortunate reports like that. Trees down on houses and businesses, an 83-mile-per-hour gust near Dickinson, Texas. Very significant, very scary stuff, but it gets worse, guys. That was just April 9th. Going on to April 10th, we have 120 reports of wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher. That is very significant. So we're going to go through them all here, all right? So we do have some hail reports from this day, but it's nothing bigger than golf ball size hail, and we already talked about hail way more significant than that. So damaging wind gusts, right? Unfortunately, the worst of it was actually centered around a very populated area in Louisiana. I went live on this morning because there was a pocket of 140-mile-per-hour wind gusts, half a degree off of the surface, over St. Landry County. Now, there were 4 injuries already reported from St. Landry County here because of those destructive wind gusts. St. Landry Parish EM reports 4 people were injured when a tree fell on a car. 1 is in critical condition, and the victim had to be airlifted to Baton Rouge. So 4 major injuries there. A tree fell on a full car. We have more trees, power lines down. This is why I was emphasizing so much during that stream that you need to be underground in a safe spot like this, because we had several near deaths from these kinds of winds. We also had another one from the Wakefield area. A tree on an electricity company truck led to 1 minor injury. More damaging wind reports of that magnitude, unfortunately. Damage to homes, trees, businesses. 78-mile-per-hour gust from Manville, Louisiana. Very significant there. And unfortunately, you can scroll down here forever, which is not what you want to see. But we are going to go ahead and move on here. We're going to move on to another significant day. We're not done. The 11th, all right? One thing I do want to point out, I did not mention this tornado that went through St. Johns County near St. Augustine. This did cause 1 injury in St. Johns County, Florida. We did have a tornado in North Carolina. It was an EF1 that we talked about while we were live. Some hail reports, nothing crazy though, up to ping pong ball size hail. Lots of damaging wind reports, unfortunately, and they range anywhere from 60 to 70 miles per hour, all right? We do have several reports of home damage, trees falling on businesses once again, which is obviously very devastating to see. And again, this is an incredibly long list from wind reports all the way from Maryland back down into South Carolina and even down to Georgia and Florida, all right? So overall, very significant day as well. So again, that's from April 11th, April 10th, and April 9th of 2024. In total, we had about 350 reports of wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher. Insane. In conclusion, April 9th, April 10th, and April 11th all brought strong tornadoes to the southern and southeastern United States. This was a devastating event, and because we're in severe weather season, we're going to continue to see these kinds of events. Now, if you would like to subscribe to this channel, I would really appreciate it. I go live for all big severe weather events like I did for this one several times. So please do be sure to click that subscribe button if you are a fan of watching the weather, or if you just need like an accurate weather update in general, because I do weather videos, I do weather live streams of severe weather and winter weather, and overall, this channel is a lot of fun if you are a weather fan. So anyway, I'll stop asking you guys to subscribe. It's an option. I don't want to make it sound like I'm forcing you to do it. it because obviously I can't do that. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching this video. It has been a real joy to make. I do like making these kinds of tornado outbreak documentaries, and I definitely enjoyed this one. So yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Peace.